Hello everyone. Hi beautiful souls. Welcome in. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot, and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader on this journey that we'll take today. So for today's reading, I was guided to use the Spirit of the Animals Oracle, the Muse Tarot, and then one of my favorite decks, as I explained in one of yesterday's readings. If you haven't checked those out, go and check them out. I have two separate readings that I did yesterday. This is the Integration deck by Diane Garris. You can find her over on Etsy, and they're just super powerful. But there's something like animalistic about the energies. There's something very wild about the energies here as we move into the end of January and into February and March. And so I really wanted to tap into those animal energies and see what's coming up. Now, I'm a reader who in the past primarily has read for twin flames, twin souls, but I'm now expanding. So if you're new to my channel and you're just catching this, I also read for light workers, star seeds, higher level soulmates, kindred couples, and soulmates. And I'm really expanding my vision, and I've really dropped the label of twin flames because it just doesn't serve us in 2022 and beyond. We are the point of the planet, like the point of ascension. Excuse me, I'm still healing, guys. The point of ascension is for us to ascend, obviously, and for us to come into inner union. If every soul on the planet came into inner union, we would be living in harmonious union with the entire planet, with each other, with ourselves. So that's really the goal of, if you identify as a twin soul or twin flame, I think many divine feminines on this journey have really dropped the label and are now just coming into this place of inner union, wanting to experience what that is and what that feels like, and creating abundance and joy and prosperity for yourself without feeling like you're missing a limb, right? Without the other part of you in your life physically. Many of you have gone through intense periods of physical separation, which we know is an illusion, just as time is an illusion. But it doesn't take away from the pain. It doesn't take away from the struggle of it. But many of you are coming out of that now, especially as we've moved and continue to move into the energies of 2022. And you're no longer going to feel like something is missing. You're going to feel complete and whole on your own. So I'm here as a guide, and I'm here to assist you as a teacher and helping you to reach and maintain that inner union so that you don't feel like something is missing. If your counterpart has kind of opted out of the physical part of the union at this time, what the world and the planet really needs is spiritual union. The whole purpose of this journey, if you're on a twin flame journey, or even a higher level soulmate journey, is for you to discover yourself, for you to heal, or what your soul needs to heal and what you came to heal and learn, and the karma that you came to burn in this lifetime. It's for you to learn lessons. The physical union is like the icing on the cake. Okay, it's the vegan vanilla icing on the cake with sprinkles. It is not the main course. So I really encourage you guys to drop the label in 2022, but come with me on this journey as we discover more and more about what we're here to do, about the feminine's mission, and yes, the masculine's mission. I do have divine masculines who are on my channel, very strong, powerful, and healing divine masculines who are healing, who are aware and who are awake, and they're very powerful. And if you're lucky enough, guys, you'll catch them on one of the lives. They're really, really incredible. So without further ado, I'm going to mention a few more things, and we're going to dive right into the reading. If you guys would like to support my channel in another way, you can catch me over on Patreon. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link for that below. I rarely mention that, but I just happened to think of that today. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you've liked a video, subscribed, you've shared my videos, you've donated, you're over on Patreon, you're a part of my group, whatever that might be. I thank you all so, so much. And I've just done 2 posts for the month of December, and I plan to do a few more January. I plan to do a few more before the month ends. I've just been recovering from basically a 6-week illness, which is also ascension symptoms. So I haven't had the energy up until really a few days ago to really start to pour myself into work again. So thank you for your patience. And then lastly, I wanted to mention that our next group coaching program will begin in April of 2022. So a couple months away. We'll start with the early bird. We'll start rolling that out in few weeks time. I'm not sure exactly when, sometime probably in February, late February probably. And we will have much more information about that for you guys coming soon, okay? So we're gonna dive right in now. Just gonna get a drink of water. It's like this last symptom to go is the post-nasal drip and the clearing of the throat, and it's super annoying. So I apologize to you guys, because if it's annoying to me, I know it's annoying to you, but there's a lot of throat chakra upgrades, you know, coming in for us. Okay, so I am going to start with the integration deck. We'll move over to the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. We'll move into the Muse Tarot. We're going to start just asking for my guides to assist, asking for my higher self to be present and to assist in this reading, and asking for the energy of the highest high to embody this reading and embody each of you that are watching, embody myself. And the energy and spirit of oneness, may that be present in this reading as well, so that we all feel unified as a collective whole, and we know that we're moving through this together and that no one is ever alone, no one is ever left out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. The Angel of Success coming through right off the bat. Okay, so Divine Feminines, if you have felt hopelessness, you know, December was a pretty dark month. January has been pretty challenging too. If you felt hopelessness, there's about to be a breakthrough. What's so interesting about this is, I believe this card came up in yesterday's reading, one of the readings, and it's a throat chakra card. So there's about to be a breakthrough in clarity and communication, guys. It's very evident. Whatever this is going to be, it's going to create a lot of success, okay? This is not like another, you know, as I call it, a text hit and run from the Divine Masculine, or from your inner masculine, right? Where you kind of fail yourself or you hold back. This is going to be, there's an element of success that's associated with this breakthrough. And, you know, it's not luck. Like the Angel of Success, it's, yeah, there could be a little snippet of luck in there, but it's little nugget of luck. But more so than that, guys, this is the energy of kind of coming full circle, the energy of, oh, I'm finally getting what I've been wanting. I'm finally getting what I feel like I deserve because of all the hard work I've put into this connection, all the hard work I've put into this journey and myself and my own abundance and my clients, my career. And so a lot of you have felt kind of like a lack of abundance the past few weeks. Overall, 2021 was pretty abundant, but then you might have felt like in, you know, November, December, as the holidays came and that really heavy energy of December blanketed the planet, you might have felt like hopeless again. You might have felt scared. You might have gone back into fear. And I'm here to tell you that there's no need to feel that fear. You really want to work on that because 2022 is fast moving energies. It's very fast paced. We're going to have to roll with the punches, so to speak, and there's going to be a lot of new things being rolled out for us in our lives. A lot of feminines, I'm just going to keep on saying this to reiterate this, are going to be moving house, moving home, selling your home, buying a new home. You're going to be moving locations, moving jobs, like kind of like what the masculines experienced, you know, in 2020, 2021, and even a little bit of 2019, but not so much. That was kind of the buildup for the masculines, and then it rolled out in 2020, 2021. But the feminines are going to experience a little bit of that, but not in the form of towers. It's in the form of change. So a lot of change coming in for the feminines, okay? Lots of change coming in. We have the sacral chakra, sensuality. So you guys might be feeling the reignition of the spark, okay? If you're in some sort of a divine connection, twin soul, higher level soulmate, what you might be feeling right now, look, desire. Okay, so we have both very deep elements of the root chakra and then a deep element of the sacral chakra. So those lower chakras are being ignited within the feminine. So you guys might feel your loins might be on fire and you might be feeling like you want to connect again with someone or your counterpart or someone else. You just want to connect with someone new or yourself on that more sensual, on that deeper level. Now, I do feel like you're going to have choices. Look, you have the Angel of Choices and the Angel of Perspective with regard to these two cards. So you're going to have more than one, as I've been saying, more than one choice, more than one partner is going to come up here, but there's going to be success no matter which route you take. You can't go wrong on this journey. You can't fuck it up. You can't, it's just, you can't mess up what's meant for you. So go ahead, get out there and live, guys. But there's definitely this reignition of the sexual spark and the fire where you might have felt like, was it dead there for a while? And a lot of you have been celibate for a long time, maybe waiting for your counterpart or saving yourself for your counterpart. And what's happening is the feminine energy is now reopening that door and saying, I'm going to let myself feel pleasure and experience pleasure. And whether it's with my counterpart or not, I'm not going to feel guilty about this. I deserve to feel pleasure. I deserve to experience intimacy on a sexual level, you know, on a personal level, on that very intimate level. And I don't need to apologize. I don't need to explain myself to my counterpart, to anyone. And, you know, it's interesting because the divine masculine in physical form tends to be the one with the karmic partners. The feminine kind of waits. The feminine, you know, is expecting him to come around, and there might be a slew of karmic partners depending on the lessons that need to be learned that you can't teach your counterpart. Well, now the feminine's like, you know what? I'm going to go experience my own pleasure. I'm going to go experience, but the difference is, feminines, by the time you meet your masculine, the majority of you, either if you're in a karmic marriage or partnership, that will end pretty shortly upon meeting your counterpart. Okay, that marriage is going to crumble. That relationship is going to come tumbling down. And then you're going to enter into a high level soulmate connection because you've met your karmic partners. You've had those experiences. You've gone to hell and back. But now it's the masculine has to get this out of his system. Okay, so the masculine is now the one who has to experience these lessons. And it's almost like they know because a masculine will say something like this. The feminine will ask, do you ever see us together? And the masculine will say, not now. They won't say no. They will not say never. They will never answer that way. They will say not now. And if they are answering in the other way, that's ego and they're lying to themselves. But if they're speaking from a place of truth and their higher self is coming through, they will say not now. And you'll say, well, do you ever see us together? Not now. So they won't answer yes or no. They just know that it's not the time because they're listening to their highest self. If you want more clarity on the ghosting, the separation phase, I've done a brand new post over on Patreon yesterday. You can read that. It's for all access patrons and above. It's a second tier and above. And it explains what's happening here. It explains this sort of why the masculine goes to the karmic partner, why they have to have those connections, and it hurts the feminine deeply. But the feminine learns about self-worth and self-respect and self-love through those connections that the masculine has, right? The feminine learns, I deserve better than this. I'm not going to accept crumbs. I will be the leading lady in your life, or you don't get to have me in your life. So it teaches the feminine a lot of things, and the masculine is learning. They're suffering in those karmic partnerships because there's always a lack of respect, a lack of trust, a lack of love, a lack of true partnership, but that's what the masculine is choosing. So you have to learn to respect what your masculine is choosing without trying to force or control very skewed masculine energies that the feminine can embody, what they're doing or why they're doing it or who they're with. You have to let go of the timeline also, which can be very challenging for the ego, not for the soul, but for the ego. But feminine, you're here to experience love and sexual desire and sexual pleasure and intimacy, and not just sexual intimacy, but you're here to experience romantic intimacy and pleasure and trust and embody those things and have a partner that embodies those things. So many of you have been manifesting and calling in these partners, and now they're starting to appear. And it'll probably be more than one connection. Like you might end up meeting someone and then your friend says, I want to introduce you to someone. I think you guys would be perfect for each other. There might be 2 or 3 different soulmates, but they're not going to be karmic partners. So I just want, like, rest assured. And if you do meet a karmic person, you're going to know right off the bat, and it's not going to become anything. It's going to just crumble. It's not going to be able to solidify into anything because that energy doesn't match yours anymore. You've done too much work. You've ascended too far. So let's get some cards here for the masculine energy. Now, please, guys, when I'm speaking of the feminine and masculine, I'm going to use she and he. please don't take offense to that. It's just for the ease and purpose and sake of the reading. And also, so knowing a feminine can be male and a masculine can be female. Very much so. And this can, apply to your inner masculine, inner feminine. It's not just the outer feminine masculine that I'm speaking of here. So you can utilize all my readings for your own self. So interesting. What is so interesting is the feminine has had, yes, you've got the throat chakra there, but you've tended to have a lot of, you've been working in the lower chakras, probably to try to give you a break from the ascension, although I've had ascension symptoms up. I'm trying to think of the word. Up the ass for 6 weeks that have just lingered and lingered and lingered. So I don't know. The ascension symptoms are still there, but the masculine, for the most part, is working in these higher realms. Look at this, guys. The masculine is working on truth and integrity. Throat chakra, the 5th chakra. This is incredible. So the first level or second level or tier, however you want to refer to it, they're working on bringing integrity, clarity, crisp, cool clarity to themselves. First, they have to be honest and true to themselves. Then they can be honest and true with others. So these are huge, huge energies, guys. In combination with that, they're working on this 7th chakra, okay? And this 8th chakra, the higher chakras, very, very high chakras, higher awareness and continuation. Like, they're realizing that this is a continuation of many, many lifetimes with you. Okay, they're realizing now, they starting to believe in spirituality in past lifetimes and parallel lifetimes, are starting to believe in what they can't see without being able to see it physically, touch it, taste it, grab it. They're starting to believe in what they can see with their third eye. This higher perspective, it's interesting because the feminine got the angel of perspective. You guys are both working on a perspective. And the eagle, being an apex predator, doesn't have to worry about anyone coming after him. The eagle dies of age or disease. The eagle doesn't die because of a predator. They're not pursued by other predators. They're at the top of the food chain. They're an apex predator. So nobody can hurt them, and another animal cannot harm them. So they're the ones that are the hunters. They're not the hunted. So it's very interesting to see the eagle here. It's like the masculine is saying, I am the hunter, I'm not the hunted. In other words, I'm not the victim of my life. I can see this all with a higher perspective. And guys, they know so much more than we give them credit for. I'm telling you, they're coming into their truth. When they come in with this breakthrough in communication, it's going to be with truth and integrity, because you have set the boundaries. And if you haven't, please do so. I will not accept anything less than everything. I will not accept anything less than the truth. And that means they have to first be true to themselves about what they know about this journey. They know so much more than they're letting on. And honestly, guys, you may scoff at this, but a lot of masculines knew who you were the minute they met you. And then they went into this distortion, they went into fear, they went into escapism, they went into the running mode. But a lot of them knew exactly who you were. Someone had predicted it to them, someone had shown it to them. In fact, I'm 100% sure that my masculine's mother, before she passed, had told him there's going to be a person you're going to meet, because he was married at the time. And I know she told him, this isn't the person for you. He talked to her about the marriage. This isn't the person for you. There's someone else out there, and this is the person for you. And this person's going to knock your socks off, knock you off your feet. And it's going to come at a time when you least expect it. And it did. We met at the most unexpected time. It was definitely not like, it was divine timing, but it didn't feel like that in the 3D, for a number of reasons. And I know for a fact that his mother spoke of me, probably even predicted, because she was very spiritual, probably even predicted what I looked like, what I was going to be like. Because when he saw me, it's like he had seen a ghost. He had seen me before. He knew. And he approached me by sitting across from me at a rooftop bar. And we argue about that, because to this day he says I approached him and I pursued him. And I'm like, no, honey, you sat across from me and you started and sparked the conversation. And I'll never forget that moment and that feeling of It wasn't an immediate recognition for me, but I knew he was recognizing me, if that makes sense. And it sparks something within you. It sparks your DNA to recognize, to remember, this person is made of my own soul. You know, this person is my soul. This person is that part of me that I've always known existed. And now they're sitting here in the flesh. And in many ways, I was the runner. Right? So how can you apply this to your inner masculine? I'm going to give you an example. In many ways, I've been the runner in my connection. So my truth and my integrity, I have to be honest with myself about how I've been the runner. I have to be honest with myself about what karma I need to clear in my life, instead of just looking at him and saying, well, you need to clear this karma. You need to get out of this. You need to do this. What do I need to do? What's my karma? And how has that been playing out in our connection? And how has that maybe stalled, the inevitable? The masculine has a very keen awareness that this connection will go on, that this is not a connection that's of the 3D, that this is a very spiritual connection, that it's guided, it's led by the divine, by God. And they're starting to really trust in that, guys. They're starting to not only become single if they were involved with someone, which most of them were, let's face it, but they're also starting to believe in a higher power in ways in which they had never allowed themselves to believe before. Yeah, they're starting to become more intuitive. I do feel like, even though the third eye chakra didn't show up here, I strongly feel the third eye chakra is very present right now. It's a very powerful energy for the masculine collective. So they're starting to tap into their third eye. And they're starting to see things clearly from a different perspective. They're starting to listen to their own soul and trust that they have this inner knowing and this inner compass. They're starting to trust that they are loved, they deserve love, that they deserve happiness and joy, and that they can release this need for chaos. They can release this need for things to be difficult and challenging, you know? The feminine has learned that a long time ago. The masculine has yet to learn that, but they're working on that. They're working on softening themselves. They're working on softening their expression, softening their communication style, softening their actions, just softening in general. And they're allowing in more of that feminine energy every single day. Now, the feminine, you have this very assertive kind of masculine energy coming in here. And, you know, the cougar or puma, I believe as they're also called, is very stealth, very skilled at approaching prey in silence. You don't hear them, you don't see them. They're very skilled. They're like magicians, you know. They can switch form, they can switch energies very quickly, very astutely. This is definitely a leadership energy. So there is something that you are taking by the reins, taking control of. And I think that's your own self and your own thoughts, feminine. That's really where I feel like this is coming in. You are going to start to take that action I've been talking about. You might be forced into it in a bit of a mini tower moment that's going to be very productive, but could be exhausting as you go through it. Again, if it's a physical move, moves are one of the most stressful things that somebody can go through. But I do feel like that's, you know, on the agenda here for 2022, especially the first, 3 to 4 months of 2022. You just know that you have the courage to succeed, and you're trusting that, you know what, where you may have been waiting for the masculine in the past or for a partner, you're now saying, I can do this on my own. I can buy that house. I can take that job. I can move somewhere, where I don't know anyone, where I've never been. And even though it's scary, you're not going to let fear get the best of you. You're going to look fear in the eye, and you're going to face your fears. I dated someone once, a soulmate, and karmic soulmate, and he said, fear, he was in AA, and he said, fear is either fuck everything and run or face everything and rise. And I was like, yeah, I feel that. I felt that on a very deep level when we talked about fear. And we're both learning, both counterparts are learning to face everything and rise. face the fear and do it anyway, instead of like running from it. So for some reason, this deck has become very challenging for my hands to hold. It's maybe I'm outgrowing it, I'm not sure, but it doesn't feel like that. But it's very challenging for me to shuffle. It's like all the cards want to come out at once. So I'm going to ask for help from my team here so that we can get some clarity. And I'd like a card for the masculine. Five of Wands. There is a bit of being at war with oneself, being at war with others here. Like there's different perspectives right now for the masculine. And remember I pulled the Seven of Cups yesterday, if you guys were tuned into that reading. So there's definitely the energy for the masculines of confusion. And that's probably because of the Tower moment that they're going through right now, this fall that they're experiencing. We also have the Hermit energy and the Fool. So two major arcana cards to round out the energy for the masculines. You know, the Fool being the energy of taking that blind leap of faith. And the Hermit is like, they've been in this Hermit energy. They're currently also in the Hermit energy still, because they are trying to figure out what their next step should be. What should that look like? Where should they go? Very similar to what the feminine is experiencing, right? I think a lot of masculines know that physically they're not where they're supposed to be. My masculine even commented, I know I'm not supposed to be in this state. You know, I know I'm not supposed to be here. But, and there's always reasons, but this, but that. And it's like, okay, well, when you're ready, you'll make that move. But then I had to look at myself and go, where have I been stagnant in making the moves that I want to make, you know, and taking my own leaps of faith? Apply this to your inner masculine. If you've been kind of hermit-like, and hermit-like is good because it means you're coming in tune with your intuition, your masculine energy that says, I trust myself, I know myself, and this is what's going to allow your masculine side or the physical masculine to speak their truth and have integrity. They've lacked integrity for a long time. It's why the feminine walked away. I can't trust you, so I'm not going to be in any kind of a relationship with someone I can't trust. You know, you've had enough of that, feminine. You want something, you want to know that you can trust this person. You want to know that you can trust what's coming out of their mouth. And up until this point, there hasn't been that trust really, or it's been broken over and over again. So they know they have a lot to prove in that regard. So yeah, they're spending time in solitude. I'm telling you guys, this is like the single card, and they're going to take this fresh, this new, they want this new start. And it's very magnetic. It's very colorful. This is like, it should feel pretty effortless for them at this point because they've been pushed so far, and finally the universe is like, okay, final push, you know, final Tower moments, end all Tower moments, so that the masculine can finally really live their truth, not just speak the truth, but live the truth. And then lastly, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is not really a nice card. It's an energy where you feel alone, you feel kind of destitute, you feel cold, you feel like they can't feel the warmth of the feminine, but they're reaching, they're yearning for that. But the feminine's like, no, you can't, I can no longer just give that to you freely and willingly. You have to find a way to cultivate and create that for yourself. There's a bit of tough love coming from the feminine, and there's a bit of energy from the feminine where it's like, she wants to know that the masculine can heal his codependency and can be on his own. That's why the Hermit energy is so important. She wants to know that he can be alone without having to be with a partner. Because a lot of these masculines have jumped from karmic to karmic. They literally left one karmic relationship, got right into another one. The feminine's not keen on that. She wants to know that you've had some time alone, masculine, that you've worked it out in solitude. Otherwise, you haven't really done the work. And most feminines have spent many years alone. Many years of being single, of even being celibate. And so you know how the process works, and you want to see your masculine come to you and say, I've spent 6 months in solitude, which doesn't seem like a lot of time. I know feminines, but for the masculines, that's a lot of time. Feminines might have said, I spent years in solitude. The masculine's going to have to come forward and say, I've spent 6 months in solitude. Or decide what number, like decide what that number is that you feel like I need you to spend this time in solitude, and then come to me. and know that you can stand on your own 2 feet and that you don't have to latch on to somebody else, including me, for comfort, okay? They have to be okay with being alone. They have to learn to be okay. They have to feel like they've lost you, feminine, and that's really the card of the Five of Pentacles. That's what they're learning in this Hermit mode. They have to feel like they lost you, and a lot of feminines knew this intuitively, which is why you walked away. You knew intuitively your masculine had to feel the loss of you, had to feel the coldness. Otherwise, they were never going to learn. They were never going to end their karmic cycles, and it was never going to, it's like it was going to just be a continuation of that old, drawn out, haggard cycle over and over again, okay? Wow, feminine, you got some amazing cards yesterday. So there's definitely an abundance cycle coming in. You've got, first of all, let's talk about the Chariot, okay? And then the Pentacles. This is the real world, the 3D, the fruits of your labor. The 8 of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles, victory and success and balance. And the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles is so interesting to me because it's my card of burning the midnight oil. It's my card of your hard work and efforts are finally paying off, feminine. You don't have to worry anymore. The 6 of Pentacles is, the reason why I call it a victory card is it's about giving and receiving in equal measures. And so you're giving to yourself and you're taking equal measures. You're learning about the law of abundance. You're learning that you don't have to be in fear when you spend money because you know it's going to come back to you tenfold. You're learning how to give freely, maybe how to give to charity, how to give to others less fortunate, and it makes you feel really good. You're learning how to give, maybe it's to children, maybe it's to animals or a cause or charity that you feel good about. You're using the abundance that you've cultivated for good things, and the universe is rewarding you for that. There's an energy with the 8 of Pentacles about perfecting your craft. There's an energy of creativity, an energy of something that you may have thought was a passion project that's now becoming your main squeeze, you know, that's bringing in the money. And you're like, wow, I could really do this. Like, this is something this could be a living for me. And so the feminine's getting very excited, and I feel like getting very organized. This is very 3D, earthy energy, Taurus, Virgo energy. She's getting organized with her thoughts, and she's putting them on paper. Then she's taking action to those thoughts. So you're starting to really map things out for yourself about how you want the next 5-10 years of your life to look like. And it's because you were able to step back from the masculine. It's because you were able to say, you know what? I know my worth. I know what I deserve, and I'm going to give it to myself, damn it. I'm going to give this to myself because I'm tired of waiting for someone else to give this to me. And that's the skewed concept or perspective that we learned as little girls or little boys. Oh, you know, there's that Prince Charming or the princess coming to fulfill your every need and desire, make you feel whole. And we've been healing from that. The feminine's been healing. That's her codependency. She's been healing from thinking that somebody had to rescue her and save her. Whereas the masculine is codependent. He tries to rescue or save someone else. And that's why these karmic partners come in. And the feminine says, I don't need to be rescued. I don't need to be saved. And he's perplexed. And his ego takes a hit. What do you mean you don't need me? I don't need you. I want you, but I don't need you. It's a very powerful thing to say to an unhealed masculine, and they don't know what to do with it. So understand, feminine, that the masculine has had to heal that. He's had to understand, because what's happening in these karmic partnerships is he's bored. He's bored because he doesn't want a woman that needs him, that's needy, that can't live without him. Oh, it's so romantic, but it's so draining. He thinks of the feminine in those times where, you know, the karmic won't let go. And that's what they do. The karmic latches onto the masculine because they feel your energy and your presence in the aura, in the magnetic field of the masculine. Even if you're not physically there, they feel you. They sense your presence. They know that you have a grip on this masculine. They find your pictures. They find your old text messages. They get jealous. The masculine has to heal this concept of they're being afraid to hurt somebody and putting themselves first. Okay, they have to be able to let go. And nothing you say or do is going to get them to that point, feminine. You just have to let go, release, and let them heal that codependency of thinking they have to save this person. it's really interesting because while you're like, this is a soul purpose energy too. Very soul purpose energy, the Eight of Pentacles. Like, look at all the abundance. Look at all the roses here. Things are coming up, roses for the feminine. Things are really starting to blossom. And then you have the Chariot, motherfucking Chariot that comes in this like, boom, girl, I got you. You know, like this is the energy. Talk about integrity. The Chariot to me speaks of so much willpower, so much confidence, so much strength, internal strength. Look at the energy that's vibrating from her. She has a lot of control of her mind, which is she's able to control her actions. She's able to control her destiny. A lot of determination, forward movement, travel, moving fearlessly toward your dream, towards what it is that you desire, and not letting anyone or anything hold you back, including your own thoughts. This is about knowing where you want to go, setting the sights and intentions, not just manifesting that, but taking the action to get there. And the energy of horse is prevalent here for the feminine. The energy of that earthy energy of the horse. A horse is actually earth and fire both. Actually, let me see if there's a horse card in here, because I want to read that to you guys. I'm not sure that it's in this deck. May or may not be. Can't remember. I have a couple animal decks. Coyote. Unicorn. There's got to be a horse card. There's a horse card. Bear with me. There it is. Freedom. Okay, so it's funny because it actually, the pictures almost look similar here. If you look, very similar. There's a grace, there's an aptitude with horse energy, and there's a very free energy here. You know, your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you, very much the Chariot energy. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change. Remember, I talked about the feminine and change and how that's coming up for this year. You accomplish your dreams. This is so beautiful. Feminine, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt the choices you've made with regards to your connection to your masculine, with regards to your life, with regards to partnerships, leaving karmic partnerships, entering soulmate connections. You have to trust your judgment at this point. Trust that, you know, it's this assertive energy with yourself. I know what I'm doing. You know, you might have to remind yourself of that or have pep talks, but understand that you are here. You know what choices to make. You have the angel of success in perspective on your side. Very much the perspective of balance that you're creating within your life. Equal giving and taking. No longer getting into relationships where people are taking and you're giving everything of you. Now you're looking for equal partnership. Don't be afraid to venture out beyond the concept or label. Please, guys, free yourselves. Free yourself and be amazed at what comes forward. I'm going to end the reading here, guys, and rest my voice. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. I know it takes 2 seconds to like, to subscribe, because it really helps the channel. And I'm having a little bit of a struggle trying to get my views up to where they were before I took my break, which is one of the frustrating things about this platform. So I would really greatly appreciate it. The more likes the video has, the more likely people are to see it, and the more likely it is that YouTube will suggest it. So something that simple and free can really help creators here on YouTube. I thank you guys so much. God bless, and I'll see you soon.